Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Abis Hazwan. I am from Physics Education. You can see my detail on the pop-up box here. Okay, so for today, I want to share with you how to set up our computer after we get all the software and hardware needed. Okay, before we start our work, please make sure all the safety measures have to be followed. Okay, you can see at the dashboard here. First and foremost, wear proper apparel. Do not wear loose fitting clothes, ring, breathless, and all anything which can bother you when installing computer hardware. Secondly, unplug all computer equipment and peripheral before opening any casing covering case. Then, keep your work area clean and well lit. Okay, then do not force component into computer port and others all the related matter we do. Please, importantly, always be careful. Okay, next we move to the computer hardware. Okay, for the computer hardware, basically we can divide it to three parts, which is input, process, and output part. As we already know, for the input and output part, we always use it. For the input part, like mouse and keyboard, and the output part, we always use like monitors and printer. Okay, for the part we really take a look is the processing part. The processing part is the processing hardware which is they located. We locate all the processing hardware in this case. So in this case, as we can see, it has motherboard, CPU, hard disk, RAM, power supply, and graphic card. So what the function of each of them? Okay, motherboard is a single platform to connect all the parts of the computer together. It connects the CPU, memory, hard drive, optical drive, video card, sound card, and other parts. It can be considered as the backbone of the computer. Okay, then we meet with the RAM, which is the short term of the random access memory, is a computer short term memory which is used to handle all activity, tasks, and apps. Graphic card is also called a video card, display card, graphic adapter, video adapter, or display adapter. It is an extension card which generates a feed of output image to a display device such as a computer monitor. Okay, for the last hardware processing component in the case is power supply unit. Its task is to convert main AC to low voltage, regular DC power or for computer internal component of a computer. They also provide a signal to the motherboard to indicate when the DC voltage are in specification. So, the computer is able to save power up and boot.
So we go to how to set out all our processing hardware component in the case. For here, we use motherboard G31M VS2 model, which is the common model used. This is the random access memory, which the short term is RAM, and this is the hard drive. This is the processor. This is fan cooler for the processor. Then this is optical drive for the enter the CD. And lastly, this is power supply with the cable. We can see many of the cable connection behind the power supply. Firstly, install the processor at the square slot on the motherboard. Spread some thermal grease top the processor to increase heat flowing out by the cooler. After that, locate the cooler fan accurately on the processor and screw it like the showing in the video. Secondly, open the case and check the connection wire. Screw the power supply at the correctly place. Most of the case basically at the top of the case. Then screw the motherboard at the wall of case and hard drive like this. Install our RAM at its slot. Make sure it clips properly. After that, make sure we open the closing of the case and insert our optical drive from the in front of the case and screw it. Lastly, connect all the connection wire correctly like the video showing. The right connection always suitable with each port. If you find it difficult to connect, please double check the slot with the connection wire. Do not push hardly, it may be the wrong slot. After all finished, close the case and try to power on our CPU.
Okay, so that is how we assemble and set up all processing hardware in case. For the those part input and output hardware, we just need to connect correctly to their socket. After finish set up all the component hardware, we need to install again the operating system. For the operating system, we will use the Windows 10 operating system. For the short introduction, Windows is the mostly famous one we use to operate our computer. Windows is the multitasking operating system developed by the Microsoft Corporation, which use graphic user interface to interact with the user. Windows had been upgrading and released their interface, and Windows 10 is the one of the latest operating system. With the interface we always see now used by most model of the computer. So now we go through step by step how to make Windows 10 installation.
So we go step by step to install the Windows 10. First and foremost, of course, we need to get the window and put the installer into pen drive or storage. Make you move it because we need to install to our new CPU. You can get the installer from the website and download it. For this installer, choose to create installation media. Then select our language, architecture, and edition. Then choose media to use for USB flash drive and download it. After that, connect to the pen drive with installing file at our new CPU. Then it will appear interface blue like this. Select your language, time and keyboard type and install. Okay, for active window here, actually we need to buy the license, but we can buy after the finish installing. Just click I don't have a product key first. Here, choose Windows 10 Pro and then accept the terms. choose the install window only and just net here and wait for installing. Select correctly here. Okay, at the left side of desktop, we can see our window is not activated. So, we need to buy activate license. I recommended to buy the license at this website because it's cheaper and make the transaction. After that, get the key license, enter it at setting, and then done.
Okay, for the all instruction I have give, I hope you can understand and follow the instruction given. That's all from me. If you have any question, you can email me or comment for this video. Thank you.